So to be fair to the cheap 5 Series, it's been pretty robust since I've had it. In nearly 8 months, nothing has gone particularly wrong, bar the driver's side cup holder no longer closes, and it's actually broken. But that's a story for another day. One thing that has been happening, which has cropped up since the first week I owned it, thankfully post NCT, is I keep getting the same warning light. Now obviously that one there is I just need to refill my washer bottle, but I kept getting rear light warning lights. Sometimes the left one will come on, sometimes the right, and as you can see here now, both of them are coming on. So the lights themselves, they're fine. The lights you need for nighttime driving lights, but I couldn't really work out what it was, because obviously if I get out of the car and I see the lights are on, I'm like, So I had to investigate further. So obviously I can't see the brake lights when I'm in the car, so I'm using a tried and tested technique of pressing the brake pedal and looking in the reflection in my porch door to see if anything's working. So you can see the left and right brake lights are fine, but it's the centre brake light which isn't illuminating. So that was a discovery. Oh, you can also hear that my pedal box has a serious creak in it, but that's a problem for another day. One thing about my creaky pedal box though is you can hear that I'm pressing the brake pedal and the light isn't coming on, which is good for video purposes. So what I assumed had happened is I just assumed the centre brake light, the bulb had blown. So I went to go change it, but the bulb itself will not budge out of the module. And if you look deep down inside, which you probably can't see, it's all melted. And that's why the bulb is fused to this plastic module, because the bulb itself is actually looks like it's fine. So that wasn't great. So I ordered a whole new module. Now I think I said previously it was coming from Latvia. It actually came from Lithuania. So apologies to anyone from either of those countries for my ignorance. Yes, this came this morning. I think it's exactly the same. It looks pretty similar. Let's do a comparison. Yep, they are the same. So hopefully this fixes the problem. So I went up to Halfords and got myself 2 new bulbs, one for the brake light and one for the passenger side. For the centre brake light, and one for the passenger side, because the passenger side one is quite dull, like myself. Also, while I was up in Halfords, I got Auto Glim hand sanitizer, because who doesn't love a good gimmick, huh? So let's give this and these a try, and fingers crossed it'll fix the situation and I will have a warning light free dash since the first week that I owned the car, way back pre-pandemic in January. So let's give that a go. So obviously to access the lights I have to get into the boot, so it means I get to use the boot release button, which I actually fixed just the other day, because whoever owned the car previously had pushed the button inside the dash. So with a lot of elbow grease, swearing and pulling apart the trim, I managed to get it back into place. I did have to use the greatest tool known to man, super glue, to fix a little crack, but the button itself now works, which is great, because until now, to open the boot you actually had to use the ignition key, because central locking doesn't work, because my key looks like this, because BMW thought it was a great idea to seal keys for life. Don't ask me why. So yes, this is the first time I'm actually using the boot release for any legitimate purposes. Ooh, that's a satisfying noise. So what we have here now is what should be a short time lapse of me fixing the bulbs, and that was it. It's supposed to be jobs a good one. But of course, the simple jobs are never simple. If you'd like to know where I got my boxer shorts from, feel free to give me a DM, or we could certainly set up some sort of bargaining situation where we could swap something for something. Of course, this was never going to be straightforward. the bulb has fallen inside the light cluster, and my big fat hands won't fit inside. So bulb's in. I'm just reattaching the center brake light back up into its housing. So all I need to do now is just check that everything's working. I think this car might be the first car I've ever had where the ignition has to be on and the engine running for the lights to work. So just checking using my patented reflection in the porch door to make sure all the lights are working as they should be. Fog lights. Yep. But there's something. Oh, indicators. Yep. We're all good there. Okay, so finally changed all the bulbs, put everything back together, and all my lights appear to be working. I checked all the brake lights, all good. The actual lights, nighttime driving lights, they all work. Rear fog light works, reversing lights are working, indicators are working. Yet, when I turn on my ignition, I'm still getting a bulb failure. Why must you fight me? Why? Okay, so it's saying whatever bulb or fault is on the passenger side. So if we go to the back, the only thing I can see different is this bulb on the passenger side is a different size to the bulb on the driver's side. So I have taken a bulb from that Clio as such. Now let's see if that will work. Okay, here we go. Oh my giddy aunt. Jesus Christ, I'd bring a tear to a glass eye. Suck fucking cess. Whew. Okay, who knew fixing a couple of bulbs could be so difficult? Okay, so what can we take away from that experience? It's satisfying to have a clear dash for the first time since the first week I owned the car, almost 8 months ago. When you go to buy bulbs, so these were the rear bulbs that came out, two of those, and these are the ones that I bought up in Halfords. Okay, look pretty much identical, right? But the bottoms are different. Now the packaging from Halfords said they were generic, so they're obviously far from fucking generic because they didn't fit. I tried fitting one on the passenger side and it fell into the cluster, so I had to fashion a fetching device with a piece of tape at the end of a screwdriver to get them out. That was fun. Then to go buy two more bulbs, two of the correct bulbs, and then I still had a warning light, so I've had to take another bulb from my old Renault Clio, which you can see behind me there. But it's done. Bad workman blames his tools. It's mostly because I'm an idiot. But it's done. So the answer to the question, how many idiots does it take to fix a bulb? One, me. So stay tuned for more delightful updates about my shitty cheap E39 5 Series, and fingers crossed my dashboard warning lights stay off for at least, give me a month please. God bless. See ya. Bye.